through and then maybe not to play? When to sit?
Yeah, you know, that's a good question, Kevin. And a lot of times it's about pain tolerance, the severity of the injury. Is it something that you can play with that won't linger on and you don't have the possibility of further injury? Those are the factors that go into playing hurt or playing in pain.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. AI is out there with Barrett, and it's Harkless in at the 3 slot. And for the Nuggets, the backcourt is Murray and Harris. Millsap and Jokic, the big men, and it's Porter in at the small forward.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
Here's Murray. Can't hit that one. And New York the other way now. Last time they met in New York.
And that was one of those gritty wins. I mean, they struggled in a lot of areas, but the fight was never in doubt. And that's one reason why they were able to pull it out.
It's a team game, and that's what you have to do as a team. Sometimes you're going to be off your A game, and you still have to find a way to get the win.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now, here's AI. 26 points for him last game against Sacramento.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
Here's Jokic. Mitchell Robinson making his last shot. Now here's Murray, defended by Harkless. Offensive rebound. They shoot again. Misses at the rim.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
That's the first miss for this offense. They've hit 3 or 4 to start.
And Harris wide open. He shoots. His 3-pointers off the mark. For New York, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game.
A self-described country boy from the town of Sombor, Serbia. Jokic grew up racing horses, no less.
Boy, those are some nice factoids, Greg. Well done. From stable boy and jockey, but as he grew, basketball made the most sense. And to this day, he still loves horses and actually still has a few back in Serbia.
Clock at 6. Harris against Barrett. Second chance shot, and Jokic lays it up and in.
You've got to box out on the boards. When you don't, that's what happens.
Inside, Barrett. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
I love seeing Barrett cash in there. He knows he has what it takes to finish through contact.
Porter kicks to Millsap. Now here's Porter. He's covered closely. Count it. Murray's got his second basket of the night.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
And that one's good. AI.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Harris against Barrett. Harris's shot is good.
An aggressive offensive player. When Harris has a quality look inside, he takes advantage of it.
And so New York calls timeout, their first. And after establishing himself as a key player in Denver, Gary Harris has played, trailing off the last couple seasons. Greg. Porter passes to Morris. And he banks in the layup.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Grant down low with Jokic. Harris is out there with Monte Morris. And it's Porter in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Denver. He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI in their last time out against the Kings got the job done. He picked up 26 points, and he got those points as he always does, knocking down shots from beyond the arc. It's rare to see any player put up numbers like that. It's likely a game he'll always remember. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
Yeah, you know, all indications are that he feels good coming into this one. He feels confident that he can build on that prior success.
Paul Millsap's checked in for Jeremy Grant. Greg, you and I have talked about how the NBA Finals used to be tape delayed. What's the value of fans getting to see the broadcast live now as opposed to tape delayed as it was back in the 70s?
Isn't that weird to even think that that's the case?
I know it.
You know, I think, Kev, that the fans, they just feel more connected to their favorite teams and players. It creates more anxiety, right? Because nowadays there's nothing that can happen that you don't know about it, whether you see it or not. So live sports, especially the NBA Finals, the anticipation, that anxiety that we talked about, man, I'm still a fan to this day in a different way. So I can only imagine when you have a personal vested interest in the team, what that's got to feel like.
Edge of your seat, you're right. To the middle. And Barrett slams it in.
And you see the edge Barrett plays with, attacking the rim with bad intentions.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Morris, no good. For the New York Knicks, they come in off a good outing against the Kings in Sacramento.
And you've got to love a team that can maintain its composure on the road, take good shots, and knock them down with confidence.
Well, efficiency is critical, and I love how they ran their offense and got quality shots out of their sets.
The Knicks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. And the first one at the line is good. Randall's checked in for New York. And both free throws good for AI.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Definitely, that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
Porter passes to Morris. To stop the run. Out to Harris. Passes it to Jokic. He feeds it to Millsap. Shot clock at 4, and that one's good. Jokic has got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Those are free points you're giving away. You've got to work harder on the glass.
It'll go, and the Knick lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket for Morris.
Terrific instincts on defense. Harris has a good nose for the ball and when to go after steals.
AI in the post. Morris is there. AI no good. And a wide open look for Porter. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Now just a 4-point Knicks lead.
Surveying the floor, Gary Harris recognizes when his teammates have open looks and gets it to him.
AI right side. And again, New York turns it over. And the Nuggets with some changes. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Millsap. Jamal Murray comes in for Harris. And Barton subbed in for Morris. Then for the Knicks, Gibson comes in for Mitchell Robinson. And it's Elfrid Payton in for Maurice Harkless. Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys? And they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness in their game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success.
Jokic, and off the front iron, and in it goes. Jokic has got 6 points.
Beautiful job closing the gap here. Let's see if they can.
Oh, what a finish! And so it's the New York Knicks. All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. We've seen AI really making a difference here.
What a welcome surprise that first half. Went above and beyond his usual scoring output.
Well, you know what? They've given him an increased role tonight, and he's taken full advantage of it.
Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. AI is out there with R.J. Barrett, and it's Harkless in at the 3 spot. Here's AI, trains the three-pointer. AI's got the lead up to 10 now for New York.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that he can afford to give him. A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Harris outside. Murray with it, working on AI. Stolen by Robinson, and pushing it up. Here's New York. And Randle throws it down.
You know, once he has the positioning he wants, he's ready for the big finish. Julius Randle throwing it down.
Murray with it, working on AI. Murray, good.
Boy, he's really been dominant in this one. Unfortunately, he hasn't had much help.
Feeds to Randle. A shot that time, not on target. Good work defensively by Millsap.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half. And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Well, I tell you what, we've all heard the stories of Jamal Murray's training routine growing up in Canada, like something out of a movie. Push-ups in the snow, dribbling on ice, deep knee bends with a cup of hot tea on his thigh. A little bit unconventional, but hey, it certainly got him to where he is now, so I would say it worked.
Murray. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. Murray's got 4 points this quarter.
And Murray's shooting, probably the strongest part of his game. Absolutely exceptional. Whenever the ball is coming off his fingers like that, my assumption is it's good.
And Clark, it was Jamal Murray's father who's the mastermind behind those unconventional training methods. His son, though, never begged off, never wavered in his commitment.
I'll tell you what, Greg, it clearly would lead you to believe that both of them were crazy, and yet they had a shared obsession and a commitment, and it's paid off.
Monte Morris is checked in for Harris. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Powell's checked in. Down low. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. Paul Millsap picks one up.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Martin's checked in for the Nuggets. Looking at current NBA players, Greg, leaving aside the real star players, who would you love to have played with from this era?
Man, there's so many guys that, you know, and I hate to call them role players because they bring so much more to the table, but in reality, they got to fill some roles, right? And, you know, John Collins is a guy who's got great potential, a tremendous finisher around the rim. How about Robert Covington, a smooth shooter who defends his tail off? Davis Bertans, a deadly floor spacer who can put the ball down and create and make plays. So there's so many guys like that in the league that make a difference in determining whether your team can win or lose.
Boy, those are three names I don't know that I would have mentioned, so I'm glad you did. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. There will be a subtle but significant change on the court this season. Wilson is now the official basketball supplier for the NBA and its affiliated leagues. In fact, they were the association's original supplier starting in 1946. Now, after a nearly 4-decade hiatus, Wilson reclaims that position. Guys, back to you.
We appreciate that, David. Thank you.
You know, scoring efficiency has been low, and it's not helping them on the scoreboard.
Here's AI. New York with a new 14. Launches it. And it's Denver with the rebound. Martin's got his 4th rebound in this one. We've got 1:55 left to play in the 3rd.
Boy, I'm absolutely shocked he didn't get that one to go. Usually he's money from deep.
That one from long range. And that's 18 points for AI. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets.
And a physical presence is former Kentucky Wildcat Julius Randle. But he's got some mobility to go along with it, able to move and attack in transition.
There's 57 seconds left in the third. Three-pointer. And it's Denver with the rebound.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Floats one. Kept alive.
Yeah, he just flat out tricked that one, missed it, and has no one to blame but himself.
From deep three-point range, that one no good. Now Denver takes it the other way. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. And they've been enjoying this long homestand. That will be game 4 of 5 in a row at home. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Yeah, this is not about charity, folks. That's his 4th giveaway already. He's letting his guard down out there.
Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Taj Gibson. I'm glad we got to see the Mobile One block once more. What a play.
And they're determined to add to the lead, not with more offense, but with big-time D.
AI dishes to Barrett. There's the triple. And he beats the buzzer. Wow!
Yeah, that's just an amazing play to get that ball off in time.
I agree. I mean, and to have the composure to lock in and get off a shot he feels confident about, that's good work.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. They've got Michael Porter. Malone is out there with Plumlee. Then it's Will Barton, and it's Harris in at the 2. That's the group in the game for the Nuggets.
And the pick fella, Mason Plumlee, you know, he can start for some teams in this league, but he's been dynamite off the bench for the Nuggets.
Yeah, you take a look at his game, Greg, and defense and rebounding and finishing, all high level. But one thing that's underrated, but I appreciate a lot, is his passing game. It's come a long way. He does a lot to help you in a reserve role.
Barton surveying the floor. Pass to Harris. 5 to shoot. It's rebounded by Barrett.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
AI, no good.
Hey, how about imagining if they were hitting their shots, how big the lead could be. But so far, that's not been the case.
Harris outside. And he comes up with the deuce.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
New York calls timeout. Your son, Cole Gregg, was one of the top high school players in America. A lot of services had him number 1. Talk about what it was like going through the recruiting process as a dad.
You know, it was fun for the most part because he really kind of kept everything in perspective. And the teams we dealt with, the schools we dealt with, man, they were all top-notch. So that process, about as enjoyable as one could ask for. But at the same time, it's still stressful, man. That's still your little guy getting ready to head off to college.
Well, you're a dad and a proud one at that. A nice shot by AI.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
Now here's Barton. He's guarded by AI. It's Porter outside. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 6 rebounds in the game.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
And here's Harris from the arc. Denver the rebound.
And the offensive rebounding, really the story here today. Even with the big lead, they're still showing more hustle on the board. Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for it.
And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Knicks.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten out in transition.
Paul Millsap's checked in for Denver. Jamal Murray comes in for Michael Porter. Randall's checked in for New York. Here's Robinson, and the layup's good off the glass.
and they're passing the ball very crisply here.
The Nuggets trail by 15. And there's the foul. It'll go on AI. That is his first foul of the game. Now here's Murray. D right on him. Pass to Jokic. Latrey. And Harkless pulls it down. The Knicks leading by 15. It's AI, top of the key. No good on the shot. Denver's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Barrett, good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Murray with it. Now defended by Randall. Murray, good.
Jamal Murray is what we call a professional scorer, a hired gun. This guy can torch you because of that shot.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. He's off on the first. Well, we know the TV networks have brought more revenue, Greg, to the NBA. The expectation is for another bump when they renegotiate in 2023.
You know, at the same time, though, Kevin, with all the cord cutters out there, the league looking to make the game more accessible to those fans. I expect that to be a big part of this next deal.
Right, on your tablet, smartphone, or your computer.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
And the pass to Porter. Launches a 3. Murray, no good. New York leading by 18. Pass to Randall. Uncovered. And there's another one for the Knicks.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Knicks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
That's a nice feeling to get the sweep. Even though it is a small number, still nice to get.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being